onslaught of constant mental tyranny that was going on with me completely made me shut down. And it was the most like stressful point I've ever been in my life. And the day I was expecting to get cut, right? But I was still trying my hardest. I was trying harder than anybody out there. I had to. The day of my cut, I had one of the best practices yet. Nothing wrong happened. I walk in, right? I'm about to walk out. The oldest coach in the room chases me down and says, "Hey Gabe, can we talk to you? We know what's about to happen." Like, duh. We got called into the coach's office. They said, "You probably know what you're in here for." I was like, "Yeah, whatever." They're like, "Yeah, we need to let you go." They said, "Good job, you tried your best." And I was like, what does that do for me? Like, honestly, what does that do for me? I knew I
Yeah,
was going
right.
to get cut, but that's not the words you should be using in this
Yeah,
context.
I know, right? Like you gotta have a little more respect. Like work on your handles
Yeah,
and maybe there's still hope or I don't know.
yeah,
So he was just like, all right, peace, see
basically.
ya.
So it was kind of just a send away. And reason this day was so hard in general was because of the lasting effects. After
Yeah,
the cut, I walked out the room, just looked at the gym, was like, whatever. Went home. I barely even cried about it. I think I cried a little bit. After that, I was kind of over it. On to the next.
yeah.
But after
That's
that, I wasn't able to look at a basketball clip, walk into the gym, like make eye contact with any coaches. It was bad for a very long time. Only recently have I kind of gotten over it, but that's for sure my day.
Welcome to the Taking Off the Mask podcast. My name is Ashanti Branch, and I'm really glad you've joined us. Today's guest and today's show is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to. Today's guest is Mohandas. Mohandas was our guest on episode 83, and he is going to be joined by Gabriel Bay. And I think what you're going to hear in this conversation between these two is they are going to take an adventure together. They're going to play Ever4 Club The Adventure. And if you haven't yet gotten your game, if you haven't yet played it, if you haven't yet asked the questions to people in your life and people you want to get to know better, we highly encourage you to get a game and begin exploring that with your community as well. But these two young men who are high school students come together and talk about life. Like not just the general things that you may think teenagers talk about, but these questions help dive them into deeper knowing of each other, which I think is really beautiful. So, as you know, Mohandas is joining our podcast team. He is finding his voice in this work. And this is one of his earlier recordings. And we're excited because this summer he's going to be supporting the Social Emotional Leadership Academy and also out interviewing and talking to more people as we begin to not only grow the Everforward Adventure series, but as we grow the Million Mask movement. So stay tuned for that. And this is the last thing I'll say in this intro, and this is a pretty short intro, but I wanted to say, if you have not yet decided to participate in the 24-hour 5K challenge, it's basically a 5K. It's our event annually is called the 24-hour relay challenge, but this year it's a 5K, and we're super excited to have our community more in person than we have over the last 3 years. So it's going to be Memorial Day weekend, May 28th and 29th. We've had to modify the event due to our COVID restrictions. And this year's 5K is going to be a beautiful experience for our young people. And whether you're walking, hiking, biking, however you choose to complete your 5K, we ask you to do that. If you're able to fundraise, beautiful. If you're not, beautiful. We just invite our community to be a part. We set a big goal for ourselves. We set a goal to raise $50,000 for the Million Mask movement, for the Ever Forward Club, and for supporting teen wellness. And so this is us matching the support that's already been given to us by the Rare Beauty Impact Fund, the Hollister Confidence grant, as well as our GOSI Foundation. So we look forward to the parts of where you can get involved. If you can't contribute, share it. If you can't share it, walk. If you can't walk, tell somebody about it. However you can get involved, we invite you to be a part of that. And the work that you will see us being able to do more of is these conversations, like today's conversation with Mohandas and Gabriel. So enjoy today's episode. Thank you for being a part of this movement with us. As we told you, over the summer months, you're going to be hearing a lot more youth voices. And if you know somebody who we should be talking to, please send us a message. You can go to our website, everforwardclub.org, and let us know, or send us an email at everforwardclub@gmail.com and let us know someone who you think that we should look into, or maybe you introduce us to them. Maybe it's easier for a warm intro if you introduce us to them. Anyone you think that we should be talking to on this show. Thank you for being a part of this movement. Thank you for being a part of the Million Mask movement. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Ever forward, folks.
What's up?
Hello.
Make sure this volume's on. Okay, let's get started. So, first of all, for those viewing, I'm Mohandas and Today we have Gabriel Bay, who also happens to be my cousin.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast. Okay, so first we'll check in, then we'll go into a little card game. So first of all, how's your week been going?
Stressful. Pretty stressful.
Yeah, I can imagine with senior year that's already too close for me, and I'm in junior year. That's got to be wild.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yep. You've been doing college tours?
Nah, so okay. In all reality, I got rejected from every UC I applied to. I got accepted to some like CSUs or whatever the order of letters is, but I don't really feel like going to them because of debt. I would rather take on the debt of a UC. So I'm just gonna go to DVC and then transfer out. So that's the plan.
Yeah. Is that like a community college?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've considered those. It's definitely attractive. The less student debt. That
Yeah.
Definitely, especially for me, because I'm interested in like entrepreneurship, which you could technically do it without college. You might use college for extra education, But yeah, that's definitely something I consider. But there's certain colleges where the location seems really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still going to go to a 4-year afterwards, so
Yeah.
I'm going to get the location experience as well. But
Yeah. Yeah, I know there are some that I look at purely for location, like University of Hawaii. But So anyway, this card game it's called the Adventure Card Game, created by Ever Forward Club, the ones creating this podcast. And basically how it works is you have these destination cards that, they look like, like that. And if we take one, this desert one, for example, it has a 12 up in the corner. And what you do with that is you multiply it by the number of players.
One second. Sorry. My thing hit 20% battery. You showed me the thing and it said 6.
So this card here says 12 on it.
That's it. That's a 6.
That's 12.
SIX? Oh, it's a 12.
No,
it's a X12.
It's a 12.
Okay.
Maybe it's flipped a little.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. So basically, what that means is you multiply that number by the number of players, 2 in our case, and then what you do is you then go over to these challenge cards that have various questions on them, and in the corners there's a 3 and a 1. Some of them have a 5 and a 1. And basically, if you go in depth to answer the question, then you get the 3. And if you just give kind of a short answer, you get a 1.
All right.
let's take these destination cards, grab one. The one we'll be starting with, Temple of Zion,
Okay.
is 8.
Okay.
So 8 times 2. Hey, what is that?
16.
Woo! All right. So we got to get 16 points to pass the level, essentially.
Okay.
So the first question is trust something offered by the giver or earned by the receiver?
Wait, repeat it. Repeat the first half.
So is trust something offered by the giver or earned by the receiver?
Earned by the receiver.
Mm-hmm. I would have to definitely agree there, because
Yeah.
I mean, it just don't. If you're the one just offering trust to everybody, you're gonna get taken advantage of.
Yep.
Like real
Yeah.
quick. I wish we were in a world where it wasn't that way, but
Yeah. Yeah, nah.
that's how it is.
How do you go more in depth on that?
That one's a pretty surface level one, so it's a bit difficult too. So yeah, that's probably just like a one per person, so that we'll call that 2 points.
Okay. Mark it down. Mark it down.
So mark that. That's 2 out of 16.
Got you. Copy.
All right, next card. What is something that you need to start doing? And if you want, I can start.
Yeah, you should start that because I honestly don't know.
I mean, for me, there's a few. So it's kind of funny with things like this for me, because there's certain things that I do pretty good already, but that I know I'm not doing as good as I could be doing with. Something that comes to mind is diet. Like, I eat pretty well already, but there's things that I know that most people don't know, that I know I could be doing even better if I did those things, and some of them are difficult. So I have to learn to kind of trade that short-term pleasure for long-term, in this case, health.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I can go with a similar answer, like posture, just little things. Posture, working out, especially now more than ever because I've taken on a new ordeal of sports, which sucks, but whatever. But yeah, again, it's a pretty straightforward thing. There's not too much I can think of with that.
Nice. I think we went about as deep as that one goes. So we'll allot 3 points per.
So
6, 7, 8. 8 out of 16. Halfway there. Next card. Okay. What is the worst phone call you have ever received? That's an interesting one. Yeah. I've been fortunate enough to not have received many difficult phone calls. For me, luckily for me, difficult phone calls are just, I don't know, people like just bad news about stuff, just the casual things, like at school, maybe there's something I was enjoying is shutting down, or maybe I thought I had a break or something, and psych, there's no break. Pretty casual stuff for me.
Yeah. So with me, I can't say I've gotten anything like extremely negative over the phone, like call wise, but I've been texted some crazy stuff. But I've never been called about anything crazy. Worst thing was like I got into this like big mess at school over a joke that went wrong, and it was more of a scary phone call because they're like, "Did you do this?" And I was like, "Whoa, I didn't know that was a problem."
Yeah,
but
that's happened to me.
like serious, nah, I don't think. Like, yeah, I don't think I got that.
What about the crazy texts?
Crazy text. All right, so I've gotten a few. So where do I? That's like one of those ones where it's hard to start. I've been like told things like just like little things that aren't that big of a deal, but still like might get under your skin a bit. Like I was called a rebound at one point. That's extremely small, but bigger things like I was accused of talking to this guy's girlfriend, and then he wanted to jump me, and I was like, bro, you didn't even hear that from me.
He's like, come on, man.
Then I was taken advantage of by this girl, right? I loved her. I thought I did. I was infatuated with her. And one day she just ups and leaves and is like, I don't want to talk to you anymore, basically. And it's like, I'm like, all right, don't stay a stranger. And then the next day, literally the next day, she posts with some other boy, like, ain't me and my boo cute. And I was like, all right, bro.
You said, oh.
Yeah, so I posted about it on TikTok like an idiot because I was in like a blind rage about it. I honestly don't care anymore now, but I was like, I don't care you did that. I called her something. And then her cousin, who was a D1 football player at Oregon, came back at me and was like, I'm gonna beat you up. You better apologize. I'm like, okay, but it's like just threats is probably the worst thing. Also like as you know, I had the whole TikTok fan base thing, so things will happen in the live where like somebody will just join and just throw slurs out. I don't even know how TikTok allows that. Honestly, I don't care. That online things have never affected me unless it's gonna happen in real life. It's never affected me, but that's about it.
Yeah, definitely. Those are some wild texts. All right. Well, you definitely went into more depth than me. So you get a 5. I probably get a 1. So that's 6. 8 plus 6. Shoot, man, I can't do fast math. Quick maths. 14. Yeah, 14. Okay.
Whoa. Oh, 14 points. Oh yeah, okay, I see.
Yeah, 14. You were like, oh, Mo, are you okay?
Come backwards.
Okay, next card. Another 5-pointer. What was the hardest day of your life?
I know it immediately. You can go first if you want.
Hardest day of my life. Man, I haven't had any like crazy, freak accidents or super unfortunate things. For me, the hardest days have been a few things come to mind. One day that wasn't necessarily hard for me, but was just like a crazy event was when my big sister broke her leg riding horses.
Mm-hmm.
That was just like it wasn't like I was worried for her life or anything, or it affected me, but it was just like, oh my God, wow, that's a lot. Also, I am someone who now and again gets migraines, which those are just day ruiners.
We're both just like prone to that, so I know your pain.
Yeah, just headache, nausea, all that. That just sucks. I remember I was at the Crucible.
Oh no! Were you by the
those of
blacksmithing place?
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, the Crucible is like it's a place where they have like camps and stuff. I was in the art bike camp learning to weld and all that, and we were creating bikes. And I was just like dehydrated and in the grinder room where there's sparks flying everywhere and hot with the mask on. And this was the first time I ever got a migraine, so I didn't know. So I got this thing where I started to like lose my peripheral vision, which is the warning sign, but I didn't know what it was. So I just kept doing my thing like, oh, that's a little weird. And then I also didn't know that the best way to cure a migraine is to immediately fall asleep. So I just started, going about my day like, man, headache. And then I got headache, nausea. I didn't know I was supposed to sit down, so I just kept walking around like, oh, man, I'm in bad shape. Oh. And then I ended up throwing up in a trash can.
Oh, man.
That was not a good day. Not a good day.
Oh man, yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
So that comes to mind. How about you?
Before I talk about mine, I just gotta say that whole migraine thing. What's it called? I've been getting them since I was like 8, so
Yeah.
I already know the deal. So hearing you having to like first time, that is hilarious.
Yeah, I think that was like probably 7th grade or something.
Jeez.
Yeah, I would estimate 7th or 6th grade that I had that, but those are so very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, that's tough. That's extremely tough. All right, mine is a bit more heavy. So not heavy like oh somebody died, but something did die. Um, for all my life I've been playing basketball, right? And
Yeah.
Solution is where I went to try to inherit those basketball dreams. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say this like you don't know what I'm about to talk about. I played freshman year my freshman year, JV my sophomore year. Juniors aren't allowed to play JV, so you have to play varsity if you're a junior, regardless. A few things about the basketball team. It's the tryout is the entire season. You get cut once they think you're useless. And the
Yeah.
basketball team is a very toxic environment at my school. Not many good people. There are, I'd like to say 2 or 3 good people on the team, including my closest friend. Everybody else, some of the worst people you ever meet. So for this 3-month stretch, I was trying my hardest to stay on the team because although I didn't like the team, I still loved basketball. But each passing day was harder and harder to get through. The mental strain alone was making me miss things like wide open layups on drills that I'd never miss, or
Yeah, kind of like almost like that like anticipating the like disrespect you're about to get for missing a shot. Like know people are about to rage, which makes you miss it.
Yeah.
You're like, ah.
And then they rage and it's like it doesn't help. So the onslaught of constant mental tyranny that was going on with me completely made me shut down, and it was the most like stressful point I've ever been in my life. And the day I was expecting to get cut, right? But I was still trying my hardest. I was trying harder than anybody out there. I had to. The day of my cut, I had one of the best practices yet. Nothing wrong happened. I walk in, right? I'm about to walk out. The oldest coach in the room chases me down and says, "Hey Gabe, can we talk to you? We know what's about to happen." Like, duh. We got called into the coach's office. They said, "You probably know what you're in here for." I was like, "Yeah, whatever." They're like, "Yeah, we need to let you go." They said, "Good job, you tried your best." And I was like, what does that do for me? Like, honestly, what does that do for me? I knew I was going to get cut, but that's not the words you should be using in this context.
I know, right? Like, you got to have a little more respect. Like, work on your handles and maybe there's still hope, or I don't know. Yeah. So he was just like, "All right, peace."
Basically. So it was kind of just a send away. And reason this day was so hard in general was because of the lasting effects. After the cut, I walked out the room, just looked at the gym, was like, whatever. Went home. I barely even cried about it. I think I cried a little bit. After that, I was kind of over it. On to the next.
Yeah.
But after that, I wasn't able to look at a basketball clip, walk into the gym, like make eye contact with any coaches. It was bad for a very long time. Only recently have I kind of gotten over it, but that's for sure my day.
Yeah, that's rough, definitely. Especially having like big aspirations and then it just falls apart. Especially when it's not even like you decided you weren't enjoying it anymore. Someone else was like, told you how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
That's definitely rough. All right. We'll let's see, we'll do a few more. I think that knocked out this level. So, bam. We'll do a few more cards on this next level, which is the Koa Jungle. Another 8-point thing, which
16, I mean.
yeah, 16. So yeah. Maybe we should just count it as 8 so that it does, we don't have to do as many cards.
Okay.
So we'll call that one an 8-pointer. And the first card, it's a 3-pointer. Tell us about a time when someone earned your trust. It's a more positive thing.
Yeah, it is. Earned my trust. That's interesting.
Yeah.
My trust is not hard to earn. So that's honestly difficult.
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah, it's not hard. It's not hard to get at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of. You have a bit of a what's it called? Like innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Thing. It's more that they earn your distrust.
Yeah. So I guess that would be a more interesting question, even though it is negative. But I haven't usually been double crossed by the people I do trust. Most of my trust comes through talking with the person. So with my first friend group, John, Oxy, and them, I had known John for a little bit before he asked me if I played 2K, which was the game at the time. And then we just started playing together, and that was it. We never kind of argued. We had one, it wasn't a falling out, but it was like a weird argument thing that happened online. But again, we squashed that pretty fast. Then with my other high school friends, he came up to me and was like, hey, my ex is lying to everybody at the school trying to make it so I have 0 friends. Can you just not believe her? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And we've been friends ever since. Like, straight up, that's all it took.
Nice.
And he was lying on his name. It was really funny.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm also not too difficult to earn trust. Basically, I trust people that seem like they're generally good people, I mean, some people that come to mind, I know like a friend of mine, Salim, we often are pretty comfortable with talking about just stuff that you don't like, more deep stuff that you don't talk about all the time with everybody.
Yeah.
With just the fact that we're able to have conversations about things that are less surface level, kind of earns my trust. Also, when I see someone that that I can tell actually this like doesn't even have there's no reason why this would earn my trust, but when I see people that are trying to like do something with their life, like they're they have goals and they're working towards stuff, I tend to trust those people more, probably just because I would trust those people to do things. I would trust them to take care of business, which in turn makes me trust them with other things, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's see. Where was that card? Where did I put it? Oh, all right. I think that was probably a 3 all around. About as deep as you can go with that question. So that's 6 out of 8. So last card here. All right. Huh. Oh, this is interesting. It's kind of a follow-up to that last one. Tell us about a time when you betrayed someone's trust. That's interesting. What have I done? I mean, for me,
I'm not too big on disloyalty, so
yeah, same. I feel like I'm a fairly, like, typically if I tell someone I'm gonna like keep their secret or something, I'll keep their secret, maybe we skip that question, do a different one. I think
Yeah.
we're both solid people, you know.
No, it's gonna look like we're lying.
Exactly.
I've never
lying. We don't do that. Take our word for it. All right. We'll instead do this one. Share a project that you've recently ended.
Ended?
Yeah.
That makes things so much harder.
That's fairly simple.
Well, yeah, you did half a marathon.
I see. That's true. I did recently do about 2 days ago. I did a half marathon. So that was a few months, you know, in the making, and it went good, went solid, man. It was pretty.
Somebody finished the whole mile in 2 hours. How do you feel? No, I'm playing. Nah. If you would have asked me this on Friday, I would have said performing a song, because I have a talent show type thing on Friday. But projects.
That's one coming to an end.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of, because I don't got nothing. Unless it's homework. I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, that's a solid one. And then there's one little fun extra bonus question to ask. If you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
A lot of people will say luck, which is true. It'd either be luck or convenience. So I've always thought about this. People are like, oh, flying, yeah. If you think about how convenient convenience is, you're reaching your pocket, needing a $20 bill, and it's there. Or you happen to need the bus to be there at that exact time, and it's there. Or it's the final jump in the long jump.
Yeah. Like the ability to just have things work out.
Yeah, like it's the final jump on the long jump. I need the furthest jump. And I happen to get it. You know? Things like that.
You just so happen to beat the other person by an inch.
Yeah.
Imagine not spilling water on your feet when you're unloading the dishwasher.
Man.
That'd be crazy.
That's convenient.
That is mad convenient.
My phone is not.
That would be.
I'm trying to figure out how to prop it up. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that about wraps it up. So, thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure, and yeah, have a good rest of your week.
We'll try.
And good luck with colleges.
All
right.
Don't do me like that. All right.
Farewell.
On this.
Yeah.
Say it back.
Farewell.
Say it back. Say it back. We're not getting off till you say it back.
I love you.
There you go. There you go.
Good. Let me get my face in the camera like you.
Love you. I love you. Love you too. I love you. I love you. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Taking Off the Mask podcast is produced by Ryan Louie. Editing, videography is also by Ryan Louie. Graphics by Kelly Wong. And a special thanks to the team at Ever Forward, Vanessa Cortez and Kevin Romero. And I'd like to thank everyone who's been a part of the creation of this podcast. As we hit this 1 year anniversary, we hope that everyone who's been a part knows that they're a part of the Taking Off the Mask experience. And we look forward to you being a part of it as well. If you liked what you heard today, please like, subscribe, and share. And we look forward to us continuing to offer conversations that matter. Take care. See you soon.